Wet weather is on the way and will continue to be a thing as we go into the weekend and early next week. Some snow possible next week as well. Let's talk about it in this hump day edition of the Texas Weather Roundup. Good morning, I'm Texas Storm Chasers Baldy-in-Chief David Reimer. It is Wednesday, the 4th of December 2024. A pretty wet and active forecast is expected across the eastern two-thirds of Texas over the next 5 days, with multiple upper-level storm systems moving overhead, and with that, some beneficial rainfall, which we don't typically get to see too much of in December. It's typically one of our drier months, excluding East Texas, but here's the high-res rapid refresh model for today to 9 to Thursday. You can see scattered numerous showers and some thunderstorms are likely across the eastern third to the eastern half of Texas this morning, this afternoon. Maybe a bit of a lull to 9 to Thursday morning with isolated showers. South Texas, Thursday afternoon and evening. That means the wildfire danger across the state from the Texas A&M Forest Service expected to generally be on the low side, so that's a good piece of news. Looking at the longer range American Weather Model Global Forecast System, Friday you can see we're expecting an uptick in rain across, frankly, a decent chunk of the state. It's looking more wet than we had previously forecast even yesterday. That'll result in cooler weather on Friday as well. So the high temperature forecast on Friday has been trended downward. You can see another wave of activity across the eastern two-thirds of Texas as we go into Saturday. And now, even continuing into Sunday. In fact, Sunday could be a very wet day across the eastern half of the state before finally all of that clears out late Sunday into Monday morning. So the timeline has been extended again and now would keep a majority of the weekend wet across the eastern two-thirds of Texas. Maybe a bit of quiet on Monday until Monday night, when the backside of the storm system with cooler air may being the key operative word here, accumulating snow to parts of the Panhandle of Texas. This is a possibility that has been shown in at least a modest number of the longer-range American weather model ensembles and the European weather ensembles, meaning it's at least a potential worth mentioning at this point, but it is not a guarantee. Things will change, and we'll fine-tune the forecast as we get closer, but, at least a low chance for some accumulating snow early next week in the Texas Panhandle. Now, with wet weather today, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, here's the latest forecast rain totals from the Weather Prediction Center. You can see rain totals have come up the eastern third of the state. Actually, they've come up for the eastern two-thirds of Texas, to be technically correct. We're looking at the potential for 1/4 to 1/2 inch of rain, up to an inch of rain. Big Country, Concho Valley, Edwards Plateau, Rio Grande Plains, Rio Grande Valley, South Texas, South Central Texas, the Hill Country, into Central Texas. The potential for 1 to 2 inches of rain. North Texas, generally alone and south of Interstate 20, Texoma, Northeast Texas. The potential for 2 to 4 inches of rain, maybe isolated amounts up to 6 inches. East Texas, Eastern Brazos Valley, Piney Woods of East Texas, Golden Triangle, Southeast Texas, and the Upper Texas Gulf Coast, which means, there may be a bit of localized flooding. Now, this does not look like a severe thunderstorm setup. It just doesn't look like we're going to have enough time in between rounds of rain to support any sort of sizable destabilization. And this looks like more of a cold rain event versus an event where we're going to see, moisture recovery that would promote more of a severe thunderstorm threat. Doesn't look like that's what we're going to be dealing with out of this, which is good. So, at least we have that, and the way it looks now, beneficial rains across, really, the eastern two-thirds of the state. Folks missing out, Panhandle, West Texas, Northwest Texas, Borderland, the Big Bend, and, really, the Trans-Pecos. Now, temperatures over the next. Alright, and if you couldn't tell, by the way, through this whole thing, allergies or something have gotten a hold of me, so we're having to do this over a couple of takes because I'm having to expunge the nose of excess yuckiness. Didn't you want to know that? I'm sure you did. But guess what? There's another Baldy-in-Chiefism. Today, high temperatures across the state, coolest in the Panhandle and northeast Texas, where we're going to have low to mid-50s. Otherwise, we're looking at 60s. Northwest Texas, the Big Country, the Concho Valley, into the borderland far west Texas, the Permian Basin, Guadalupe Mountains, and we could have 70s in the Davis Mountains down to the Big Bend, 70s, Coastal Plain, Southeast Texas, Golden Triangle, South Texas, Rio Grande Valley. Now, as we get into tomorrow, cooler. Northern half of the state, highs generally in the 50s. A cool day. A damp day. Even if we're not going to have widespread rain, it's going to be a pretty dreary day. Highs remaining in the 60s to low mid-70s South Texas, and even maybe some 80s in the Rio Grande Valley. Now, here is where a significant forecast change has taken place. You can see with the expansion of rain chances on Friday, forecast high temperatures have really come down. We're looking at a cold, wet day. With highs mostly in the upper 40s from the Trans-Pecos and the Davis Guadalupe Mountains. Can you tell I've had cold medicine? Yeah, sorry. Into the Permian Basin, the Big Country, the Concho Valley, the Hill Country. I don't know why this is so funny. I really don't, but yeah, I don't know. I really don't. But North Texas, Central Texas, East Texas, Northeast Texas, Southeast Texas, South Central Texas, highs, upper 40s, 50s. 50s to low 60s in the Panhandle, where we'll have more sun, and it's still in the 70s in the Rio Grande Valley. So if you don't want to be chilly, go south, I guess. Now, Saturday's high temperatures going to be dreary. Central Texas, North Texas, Northeast Texas, still upper 40s to low 50s. Can you tell where the rain chances are highest? We are expecting a bit of a warmer air mass to advect inland from the Gulf of Mexico, immediate Texas Gulf Coast, Rio Grande Valley, Coastal Bend, Southeast Texas, Golden Triangle. And then we're also expecting, well, more sun up in the Panhandle, West Texas, borderland, so highs up in the upper 50s to 60s, and then a more substantial warm-up on Sunday, highs generally in the 60s to 70s across Texas. Looking at the longer range outlook from the Climate Prediction Center from December 11th through the 18th, equal chance of above average or below average high temperatures, so yeah, it's not looking particularly spooky one way or the other. And then in the precipitation department, same thing really, but it does look like we'll be at least somewhat active, so hopefully that means some more chances for rain. I am apparently giggly Texas Weather Center Baldy Chief David Reimer. Clearly I need to go take some more NyQuil and nose spray and all the stuff that makes Baldy-in-Chief not a sickly, grumpy old man. But that's going to be it for your Wednesday edition of the Texas Weather Roundup. As always, you can get your local weather forecast, interactive weather radar, daily Texas Weather Roundups, and more in the free Texas Storm Chasers mobile app. Just search for Texas Storm Chasers where you download apps for your device. And you can also find us on YouTube. Just search for Texas Weather Center. We appreciate everybody leaving comments, good, bad, probably a lot of bad ones today because I'm giggly. And of course, if you haven't already, we'd appreciate it if you'd hit that subscribe button. It's free, and it makes us look special in light of the super duper algorithm. That's it for today. We'll be back bright and early Thursday with less giggles, hopefully, and less congestion for your next edition of the Texas Weather Roundup. Have a great Wednesday. God bless.